What's up, you guys? Hello, and welcome to another video. Welcome to Habits That Changed My Life. These habits, let's just talk about them. They are not the picture perfect kind you see all over Pinterest, but real habits that have shifted my day-to-day life. Some are practical, some are mindset, and some, let's just say, my 22-year-old self would have probably rolled her eyes at them. So why do habits really matter? In my opinion, they matter most for the long term. They're going to create stability in your life when things get chaotic. They also protect your energy because you've already decided the little things that are going to keep you grounded when life around you is imploding. Habits are also the best form of self-trust. When you follow through, even in tiny little ways, you teach yourself that you can rely on you. But go ahead and grab your coffee, and we're going to talk about how I'm changing my life and how you can too. Because hopefully you can incorporate some of these habits into your everyday life, and they will help enhance wherever you are. So if you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and make sure you're following me on the socials. Everything is linked down below so we can always keep in touch. Now let's jump right into the video. The first habit that has really changed my life on this self-development journey is moving my body for my mental, not my physical. Mind blown, right? That is such a perspective change from how I used to feel about moving my body. I always wanted to move my body for aesthetics. I wanted to move my body to look a certain way, to lose a certain amount of weight, to just for aesthetics, for physical appeal. And once I started removing the reason I was moving my body for physical and started adding in moving my body for mental, that's when it became easier to keep up my workout habits. Now I don't work out for physical purposes. I mean, obviously you think about it, it's in the back of your mind. Like, I ain't gonna sit here and lie to y'all and be like, you know what, that's all I'm moving my body for. However, the main purpose of moving my body is for my mental health and mental well-being. It feels good to say I get to go outside and I get to run and I get to walk and I get to go to Orange Theory and run and I get to go to the gym and lift weights and I get to go to Hot Works and sweat and stretch and do all these things. It feels so good to say that my body can do these things and I do get to go out and do these things, because many people's bodies just don't work that way. And my mental is so much more clear when I get a workout in. I went this morning and ran 4 and some odd miles, and I just feel so good after a workout. That is the truest phrase in the world. You will never regret a workout. You may regret not going, but you will never regret going for a workout. It is never something that you leave and say, oh, I just really wish I wouldn't have did that. Not gonna happen. So think about that. Like, the more you make it a mental and a part of your routine and a part of your life, the more it is easier just to keep up with moving your body daily. And currently I'm in a 6-week mini cut. Moving my body daily for 30 minutes is one of the rules in my mini cut. Make sure you're following me on Instagram so you can get all the rules if you want to join in. It's not too late, and you'll see, like, moving my body for 30 minutes every day, it's going to become a routine. It's going to become a routine. I move my body 4 to 5 times a week, but I want to get in the habit of moving it every day, and my mental health needs it. So moving your body for your mental and not for your physical. Second habit is that I have drastically cut my alcohol consumption. Y'all, I was drinking so much, and I talked to you guys about this before. I was drinking way more than I needed to be, and for no other reason. It's not like I was stressed out and drinking or anything like that. It was just kind of a social thing. It was like me and my husband's kind of thing, how we unwinded at the end of the night. I'd have some wine, maybe some whiskey with him, some bourbon, and we would just sit there and have a drink or two every single night almost. And it got to the point where I was like, I am really counteracting any workout efforts that I'm doing by having this alcohol. It's really counteracting everything. It's making me wake up groggy. It was hurting my stomach for a minute, just not feeling well as I get older. And I'm like, what? Why am I drinking like this? This is so unnecessary. And I just stopped. I don't haven't completely stopped. So I'm not completely sober. I drink one time a week. So that is one of the things that I have been making sure to do. I'm a social drinker. So when I go out, I will have a drink, but I don't go out very often. Well, this summer, your girl's been outside. Okay. So let alone I've been outside this summer, but under normal circumstances, I have a drink one time a week. Usually it's on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, one of those days, and that is what I stick to. Not only does that help with weight loss efforts, if that's one of the things that you are looking to do, but it just also makes me feel better. Like I said, I wake up feeling better. I sleep better. I just feel like my mind doesn't have the brain fog and my mind is a lot more clear. I feel overall better with less alcohol. And of course, it's just more healthy for you. So drastically cutting alcohol definitely has changed my life. So this habit I've been doing for a while now, but I thought I would mention it because I think it's so important. And I talk to people and they are still not doing this. At our big age, we need to have a clear view of our finances, a clear picture of where we are, how much debt you have, a plan on how to pay it off, what your income is, what you have going out, like what your bills, your monthly necessities are, what's the monthly number that you need to survive if you lose your job right now. Can you survive for 6 months on your saving? What is that monthly number so you can work to get there? Those are all numbers that you need to know and you need to be working toward. Having a clear view of my finances has helped me be able to not only continue to do the things that I need to do and get the things that I need to get, but it has also helped me get the things that I want to get and do the things that I want to do because I have a clear view of where the money's going, what money's going out, how much I have saved. Again, if one of us loses our jobs today, what does that look like? What does our life look like? What do we need to actually survive for 6 to 9 months? It is not a good job market out there right now, you guys. People are fighting for their lives right now because they were not ready for the massive layoffs and the job market to look the way it looks right now. So you have to be prepared for anything. And that starts with knowing what your finances look like. You can be in a great financial situation right now, but that can change in an instant as it has for hundreds of thousands of other people. So it is time to make sure that you know exactly what those numbers are and you're working toward making sure that you have everything that you need. It also helps keeps you calm as well, and it helps you feel like you're achieving something. So Mark and I have a weekly budget check-in and we look at our finances every week. It only takes 15 or so minutes. Once you set up the system that works for you, it takes about 15 minutes every week. We talk about what's going out, what's coming in, and what we're looking like as far as saving and investing, and we keep it moving. It's a very simple, easy connect for the two of us, and we are able to, at all times, know how far away we are from our goals. The fourth habit that has changed my life is bringing back my admin hours. So I think last fall, I started to do this thing called admin hour. And basically twice a week, I would take 1 hour out of 1 hour twice a week. So 2 days out of the week, I would take 1 hour and I would really get all of the tasks done that I have been putting off, that I needed to get done, and I would really sit down and focus. No phone, I set a timer, and that's what I do. I got off of that probably, I don't know, for like the last 6 months or so. I was doing them here and there, but not on a consistent basis. You would be surprised how much work you can get done in an hour if you just sit down and focus, put the phone away, and really have laser focus on what tasks you need to get done. So when I do my admin hours, basically, like I said, I set a timer. I actually have a timer on my desk. I set a timer. I turn my phone over, put it away, whatever you need to do to make sure you are not going to stop and start mindlessly scrolling, and I get to work. I have a list of things that I have been meaning to get done for the week, and I work through that list. And normally I get everything done on that that list because it is focus time. You can get so much done in an hour of focus time, way more than you can get done even on 4 hours of non-focus time where you're constantly fidgeting, looking at your phone and doing other things. It helps center my mind and focus my mind when I know, okay, I have this 1 hour to get all this stuff done. It usually all gets done. So I would definitely recommend that you incorporate your admin hours. I've incorporated those back in over the last month, and I have seen a tremendous increase on the things that I've been able to get done off of my to-do list. And FYI, it's not just administrative tasks that I put on my admin hour list. It could be a quick clean. It could be like folding some laundry, anything like that. I call it an admin hour because usually I'm doing administrative tasks like checking emails, responding to emails, filling out forms for the kids, stuff like that. However, I have also put cleaning tasks on there. I have put a quick reel edit on there. And like I said, normally I'm able to get through the list. So anything that you need to get done, put it in that admin hour. Habit number 5 is regularly decluttering my space. This brings me so much joy to declutter my spaces. And I try to pick different spaces, and it doesn't have to be a whole thing, right? So when I think of declutter, my mind automatically goes to a huge makeup declutter that's going to take me hours, or a huge closet declutter that's going to take me hours, possibly days. But I pick small spaces and declutter. So I have a junk drawer in there that I need to declutter. I need to declutter my water bottle cabinets. So you see that pattern? Like instead of saying I need to declutter all of my cabinets, I'm going to pick one drawer, one cabinet at a time. And that's something you'd be surprised how quickly that goes. That's something that you can get done in 15, 20 minutes, depending on how big you make the area. So keeping your space decluttered also helps declutter your mind. When my space is cluttered, there's stuff everywhere. My mind is all jumbled and all I can see is the clutter and I can't focus on anything else. And so that one little habit, if something is bothering me, I try to get up and just get it done. And that one little habit really changes my brain chemistry and how I'm able to focus on getting other things, meaningful things done. Okay, this is a big one. Learning to step out of the groupthink mentality. Let me explain to you what I mean. You guys, so I have talked to you before about having a cleaning service come to my home, help me keep the house tidy. We have our cleaning service come bi-weekly. So every other week, we have a crew come clean our house. They're here for 3 hours. They leave. So helpful. When I first started to get that cleaning service, I told my mom and some of my friends, and they were like, "You're getting someone to come clean your house? Why do you need some? You can't keep your house clean?" No, I can't. I'm not afraid to admit that. But I definitely had some anxiety about that at first because it was we don't get anybody to clean our house. Who gets someone to clean their house? We're not rich. We don't get people to clean our house. Then I had to step back and who is we? Who is we? I do what the hell I want to do. And if I can't afford and feel like I need somebody to help me in whatever area of my life it is, I'm going to do that. Why am I making life harder? And part of that is having that groupthink mentality that we don't do that. This isn't something we're used to doing. This is not how we've always done it. It takes a tremendous amount of effort to get out of that mentality. And you have to keep kicking yourself and keep reminding yourself that that's not where you want to be. You have autonomy to do whatever it is that you want to do. You're a grown-ass adult. I don't care how you grew up. I don't care what you grew up not doing or what you grew up doing. You can grow up and choose to do something different. And that is what I choose to do with my life. A lot of the choices that I made growing up, I found myself, or even in my 20s, I found myself saying, we don't do that. That's not something we do. That's not something I would. Why is that not something we do? And who is we? Who is we? I am me. Okay? I am me. And even if I grew up doing things a certain way, if my parents grew up doing things a certain way, a lot of the stuff I do, my parents look at me like, what? You paying for what? You're doing what? and it just doesn't make sense to them. And that's okay. Your choices don't have to make sense to anyone but you. So learning that and really putting that into practice in your life that's very hard. I'm not going to lie to you. You're going to have to do the work. Every time your brain goes to, we don't do this, or we can't do that. Every single time my brain says that to me, my brain instantly now says, why? Why can't we? And I start going through the list. Oh, we can't do that because that's just not anything we do. Why? Because we grew up not doing that. Why? And you just keep going down the list of whys, and you realize, probably usually when you get to about 2 or 3 whys, you realize it don't even make sense and it don't apply to you anymore. And again, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. So getting out of that groupthink mentality and figuring out what really works for you, that's the key. My next habit is checking in with my future self before I make decisions. Checking in with my future self before I make any kind of decisions. So that is when I spend money. When I spend money now, would my future self thank me for this? What would my future self, the person who I am trying to be, the person who I am becoming, the person who I am doing all this work to get to her, is she going to look back on this decision and be proud of it? I ask myself that about pretty much every decision, and I really try to sit and answer that question. Sometimes the answer is no, and you're going to do it anyway, okay? Sometimes she going to say, future me going to say, girl, you know you ain't need that bag. Girl, you know you don't need another foundation. That future self gonna say that sometimes. And sometimes I'm like, you know what, ever, I want this foundation, okay? Sometimes that happens, and that's okay too. However, for most decisions, for big decisions, I really think about, again, my future self and what does this decision mean for my future? How is this decision getting me closer to the goals that I've set for myself? And when you think about it like that, you find that a lot of things you're doing are really frivolous. And for me, most of the things that I think about when this happens is spending money. And when I think about that and I ask that question, most of the things I'm spending on are pretty frivolous and will not serve me in the future. And so I've done a great deal of like inner work thinking about that stuff. And it's really helpful when you understand that this won't serve my future, and it makes you pivot and make a better decision. Last but not least, your girl had to talk about practicing gratitude through journaling and through Bible study. I've talked about this so many times. This is a newer habit, probably in the last 6 months or so. And then I fell off a little in the summer, like I did with everything, but we're picking it back up now. And I am journaling and Bible studying 3 times a week. I would love to be an everyday journal and devotion person. I'm not there yet. So I want to start off small and bite-sized and something I can do. So journaling and Bible studying 3 times a week is a sweet spot for me at the moment. And I try to do it first thing in the morning. And what it does is really give me perspective for my day. So I have a little reading corner in my room. Sometimes I'll bring it downstairs and do it like on the couch when no one else is down there. The house is quiet and still, and I can really ingest what I'm reading and really think about my thoughts and sit with my thoughts. However, I do have a little reading corner in my room, and so I have my Bible up there, and I have my Bible and my devotion, which I've shown you guys before, and I read the Bible verse, and I read the devotion and the prayer that goes with it, and I really sit there with my thoughts and think about how this applies to my life. How is God talking to me today? What does God really want for my day? What is my ultimate goal for the day? And I usually always get an answer. And then after that, I go in with my 6-minute journal, and it is just 3 journal prompts, like 3 gratitude journal prompts for the morning. Takes about 3 minutes. And then you finish it up in the evening with 3 journal prompts. And again, it takes about 3 minutes. So about 6 minutes for the day. And it's very quick. Usually it takes me 15-20 minutes, but It's such an important part of my day and really sets the tone for how my day is going to go, which again is why I would love to get to a place where I am daily journaling and Bible studying, but I'm just not there yet. And that's okay. It's okay to know where you are, start off small, and then be able to build on that. And that's where I am. So practicing gratitude, really, if I can't be grateful for the things that I have, how dare I ask for more? How dare I say that I want more when I'm not grateful for what's already been given to me? And I don't care where you are in life. I don't care what you have. If you can't be grateful with that, if you can't honor God with what you have, how dare you fix your mouth and pray for more? So that's something that I think about often. And so I'm just so grateful for my life and where I am. And I couldn't be more happy. And this habit really helps ground me in that and make sure I don't forget. Because sometimes we can forget, sometimes we can be a little ungrateful. We can forget how far we've come. We can forget that we prayed to be at this very spot that we're in right now. We forget that. Once we get to this spot, we already praying for the next thing. So we forget that 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 1 year ago, we were praying to be right here, right now. So that helps ground me to make me remember, yeah, you're doing well. You got more to go, but you're doing well. So you guys, these 8 habits are small. They may feel small, especially when you're doing one at a time, but they are so powerful. Comment down below one habit that's changing your life right now. I'd love to know what you guys are doing on your self-discovery journey. I think we're all on this journey together, and I love that for us. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more coffee chats, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. I love you. Bye, guys.